for like 5 seconds, or you watch the events button, we'll watch our watches. So according to mine, 5,
There's an event button?
3, 2, 1, go. Maybe. Oh,
Oh,
the door changed. Go.
No.
Alright, keep going.
No, for real though. So you like, you take the gun, and then you have like the drum mags that you find all over, right? Because the further you get to the boss, the better guns.
Oh, I see.
And the more ammo you get, you know, instead of just having like just the guns and their unlimited ammo.
Got it.
No.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, I like that suggestion. All right, so we'll give people a little bit more time to filter in. Hi, everybody. Oh, wow. Okay, this is good.
Hello.
So let me talk a little bit about how I'm planning to do this event. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
My name is
All right, perfect.
Something is buzzing though.
Yeah,
It's
something is buzzing.
McKinley.
Whoa, hi.
Hey.
How's it going? Hey. Oh,
Yeah.
how's everybody doing?
All right, so yeah, we'll leave it a few more minutes. I think this is a 30-person room.
Oh gosh! Holy cow! Oh my god!
So hey.
I've never seen so many people in the room.
Me neither.
Yeah, we've been working a lot on our event systems, trying to make it easier to host events. Kind of the dream here is making it really easy for anyone who plays to host events, and so we're testing it out by running events ourselves.
Wait, so are you a part of Rec Room's
Wow,
people?
Oh yeah,
or-
so I'm one of the developers. Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome! It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Developers of the game.
Nice to meet you.
That's
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
awesome. Man, I can't believe you made this game for free. Like, the fact, because I got it, like, we got our headset system when VR first came out,
great.
and we got Rec Room was one of the first games we got, and it's changed so much. You guys have done so much, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it. We have a lot of fun doing it. All right. Okay, so let's get started. So what I thought we'd do today is so I'm going to go stand here on the edge. So kind of a new feature we have is I'm the event host for this event, so I can go up on the stage.
Nice.
And so none of you should be able to teleport up here. All right. Okay, that's good.
We could probably just turn ourselves into the stage.
Yeah, you probably can. You probably can. Oh, all right. I asked for that. I asked.
Yeah.
I totally asked for that. I totally asked for that.
Oh my god, how many people there are here.
Yeah, this is great. Uh-oh. Bye, Frank. All right. So what I want to do, I'm mainly thinking of this as like a discussion amongst us, as opposed to me just talking at you. So we thought it'd be really fun to talk to you guys because, as players of Rec Room, you're some early adopters of virtual reality and social virtual reality particularly. And so I thought we'd talk a little bit about our vision for Rec Room, and then I want to hear feedback from you about how you hope Rec Room will evolve and how you hope VR in general will evolve, because that'll help us think about what we should be prioritizing for Rec Room. Okay, yeah. So, all right. So for Rec Room,
So,
do you have a question?
Sorry, no, it's not a question. Whoever has their external speakers on, please turn them down.
it's echoing. Yeah, I can hear it.
Speakers.
I'm using
Yeah.
earphones.
It's not
So
me.
you might want to put yourselves on push
I
to
got the
talk.
new
Does
headset
everyone know how
on.
to do that? That might be a good thing to do.
That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
I know
Can you
everyone was so
explain
excited by our
Let's do that.
our espresso push to talk yesterday.
Let me...
So, how do you do it?
It's the grip pads.
So it's in the settings. You set in the audio settings. Put your microphone on PTT, push to talk,
Oh, and how do you enable it?
and then if you're on a Vive, you can pull the grip buttons. If you're on Oculus, you can push the thumbstick.
So you did
Did you fix
Can
that?
we just
Yeah,
nice,
we did.
nice.
Okay, how about set on PTT and I'm pulling the grip button? Can you hear that?
Oh gosh.
I hear you.
All right.
Yeah.
A lot of talking.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about Rec Room and where we think we're going with Rec Room. So our overall goal with Rec Room is we want to make a fun and welcoming environment for people from all walks of life. So we want people from anywhere in the world to be able to join. People with any skill level, no matter what they're into, we want them to come into Rec Room and find a great community. Feedback we've heard a million times over is the best experiences that people have with Rec Room is when they meet someone nice who'll kind of show them the ropes and take it through. And so, thank you to everyone who does that. That is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So, what so with that kind of goal, we think of Rec Room as fundamentally cross-platform, right? So we're going to try and be on as many platforms as can support us. And so we think that, you know, a platform's ready for Rec Room when it has 6 degrees of freedom tracking of the head, like the Vive, like the Oculus, like many other platforms, and at least one 6-off hand. That's what we really need. Question?
Will you be making extra rooms? Because I feel like it's becoming a really big problem having little kids everywhere all the time, and some people don't like playing with little kids. I was just curious if you guys were going to make a room just for them.
So here's what I'll say. I don't want to make any too strong of a statement here, but one thing is we are working on something that addresses the need to like have some special treatment for kids. You know, as of right now, we need to stick to the code of conduct, and please report kids when you see them.
Yeah, I do.
We are thinking about ways. Thank you. We are thinking about ways that we can handle that a lot better, and we hope that on a time frame of the next month or two, we hope we've got some things to say about that. So I don't want to say anything too specific, but please know we are working on that. Yeah. Vin, you got a question?
I got one.
Sorry, I forgot I'm push to talk. What happens
okay.
when people are reported? Like, what actually happens after?
So I don't want to go into too many specifics, and the reason I always say we don't talk about too much about how our moderation system works is because we don't want to encourage people to game the system. But generally speaking, we review the reports we see, and we issue bans and suspensions as appropriate. Yeah. I kill pigeons.
Speaking of the moderation system, have you guys put any thought towards a solution to people getting banned because they're good at paintball, for example?
Yes, and actually we haven't.
You're like, you're good, and they're like, ban.
Yeah, so we actually.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah,
it does
Not
happen.
To me,
I'm
People
terrible.
getting butthurt.
Yeah, it doesn't happen to me either. I'm terrible as well. So yes, we have thought about that. We're actually running some back-end experiments as we speak, and so we'll see if it helps. Okay,
Can I ask you a question about the numbers?
Oh yeah, please. Mm-hmm.
How many players to play Rec Room?
Lots.
Yeah,
lots.
I don't remember the number.
There's a counter somewhere.
Lots. Yeah, so you can get a general idea. There's some kind of counters that will show you how many players concurrently are on Steam, and so we show up on that. Those numbers are roughly accurate as best we can tell. Then obviously we got the Oculus players as well, so you can get a pretty good estimate from that. All right, what else? So we got Vin. You got more?
Sorry about that. I was just making sure I wasn't hitting my light.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, no worries. Okay, so you know, something where I was talking about platforms, so let me talk a little bit more about that. So we want to be on any platform that'll support us, and so you know, there's the PlayStation 4 is something that we're interested in. We're looking at that. We're going to see if we can manage to be on there. There's many other platforms coming, and yeah, really, what I actually wanted to hear your thoughts on this is because something that we're very excited by is the notion of portable VR. So VR that doesn't require a computer, VR that doesn't require any wires, VR that's untethered, so that you got much more freedom of movement. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Like, you know, in terms of like new hardware and stuff like that, what is exciting to you?
Dangerous.
Evil Up Gaming.
You know, I actually just, like, right before this started, I actually saw someone who was playing it, like, this game using, like, a phone, because they used some kind of program called VR Ridge, and it like, made it go to their phone or something.
Yeah.
And also...
What?
Yeah, we've seen some people...
I'm doing that as well right now.
Yeah, we've seen a few people do that. We've had a couple of people kind of contact us via the forums, and... we have like a AFK detection, so you know, when people are out of their headset, eventually we'll kick you back to the dorm room, so you're not occupying a slot in the room. And so apparently, some of these kind of like you know, more phone-based solutions or some of the variant headsets, they don't have a correct AFK sensor, so people often get kicked inappropriately.
Why is someone trying to kick Fresh?
Somebody's trying to... Yeah, I see the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Is everyone okay? Okay, Fresh, you doing all right?
What's Fresh?
Oh, you fresh?
Oh yeah, look. Oh hey, there's Pug. Hey, Pug. How you doing? All right. So yeah, tell me what else are you excited about in terms of like upcoming hardware stuff like that, Joey?
Question from a developer standpoint. I have a question about the engine. How hard is it to replicate basically physics? Because I see this game is all about physics and throwing frisbees and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As I like develop myself in the Unreal Engine, what kind of engine are you like? Is the group using for Rec Room?
So we build Rec Room in Unity. And you're right. It's we do put a lot of effort into our physics. I mean, we use the standard Unity physics engine for kind of basic rigid body collisions, but we put a ton of effort into tuning everything, like the the discs and everything. Like there's a lot of effort and playtesting goes into making sure that things behave as well as they can. And obviously, it's not always perfect, but we do try. Something I would recommend looking at from a developer perspective is take a really close look at the values you're getting from the controllers. They're quite different between Vive and Oculus. They both have their kind of different quirks, and we had to put a lot of like platform-specific kind of tweaks to make it feel good on each platform.
All right.
I'm doing that motion because I always think about throwing the basketballs. Like that's kind of my test case is like shooting hoops in the rec center.
That is so hard. It's so hard.
Yeah, paddleball on Rift, you can't hit it as fast as a Vive can. I've noticed. As a Vive player, I can slam it and it flies across, and someone on a Rift just goes,
HTC boy.
Yeah, and we actually noticed differences with the Rift because you can use the Rift either.
Don't even lift, bro.
Don't even lift, bro.
You guys know the Rift players was good.
So
will you sign my autograph?
All right, not too much yelling, please. It's going to get kind of crazy in here. What I was saying is like we noticed a pretty different performance of the Rift when it's running on Steam and the Rift when it's running via the Oculus Store. We get kind of different values from the controllers, so we tweak for that as well. So yeah, if you're a Rift user, it might be interesting to try Rec Room both running via the Oculus Store and running via Steam. You might notice it's slightly different. Yeah, cold.
When you talk, like, are you going to be working a little bit more with facial expressions when people talk, or are you going to be working with that at all anymore? Or you think you... How are you going to do that?
I think
so absolutely. So everyone's got that ability. You've got that ability. This is something we literally added yesterday. We call it Espresso. You see, are you on Vive or Rift?
I'm on the Vive.
Okay, so the little menu button, press and hold the menu button and wave your hand around, and something will happen.
Whoa,
it takes a little bit. It's easiest to practice in front of the mirror.
The menu button. What do you mean? What do you mean by the menu button?
Oh, so there's on the Vive, there's like the little button up above the big teleport button. The one you press and hold that, and you can make various facial expressions.
Oh, wow.
Takes a little bit of practice to get used to, but
that's so cool.
When is this?
Oh yeah, so we modified the charades room to like. But this is we over time we're kind of wanting to turn this into more of a performance space. So like we're starting to get to a crowd size where you might be able to do like a stand-up comedy set, or you might be able to do some theater, or you might be able to do maybe some musical performance, something like that.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, honestly, like we want everyone to be thinking about like if you want to run an event. I know some people here. I recognize some faces and some names. I know some people have run events and attended events. So thank you for that. Like this is a great time to sort of kind of join in and practice and experiment because this is where we're learning what's going to be great in social VR. Okay, so that right now, so. Oh yeah, all right. So same question from you, Emily. So
how would you like to start with?
Yeah, okay. So let me talk about that.
Like a birthday party in here.
First of all, the what we're trying to get to is a system where you can just sort of all in VR, all in Rec Room. You can create an event. You might notice that there's actually now an event button in the watch. That just been added. It doesn't do much yet, but what we're planning to do is actually have an event browser, so you can just like you can jump to activities, you'll be able to see the events that are going on and just press a button to kind of jump into them. So we want to make it so that you can create an event in VR. People can find it in VR. But right now, what you need to do is come and find us on the Reddit or the Discord. So if you haven't been to the Reddit, it's our Rec Room. We're very active there. You can talk to Duffy there. He'll be talking to you every day. And some of you may know Bboz, who's one of our developers. He's on the Discord and on the Reddit, and he kind of is our main event designer. So he's like, thinking through a lot of how the systems need to work and everything. So right now, to do a featured event like this one, you work with Bboz. You kind of go and pitch him, hey, I want to run a murder mystery, or I want to do we did a Ready Player One discussion the other night that went really well. I think that was Drummer Geek hosted that one. And so if you want to do something like that right now, you got to talk to Bboz. Soon you'll be able to just set it up yourself and just kind of use Rec Room to do whatever kind of gathering you want. All right, we got a few questions. Joey, what you got?
2 quick questions. One more about like character interaction. For example, now you can't really like interact with people. It's like more through. Can you shake around people? Like it's not like that, I swear. But it's like, but it's like the more,
just pick somebody up. Like we're not friends.
Okay?
No. But more character interaction, like drag someone along or that kind of stuff. But not that it's annoying. That you can give permission or something.
It's an interesting idea and stuff that we've. Yes, I think that's a really fun idea and something that we'll definitely try. Something that we've wanted to try for the longest time, but keep not getting around to is in dodgeball. When you score a really good hit with a dodgeball, we want to temporarily decouple the avatar from the user and kind of ragdoll it and kind of like so you can knock them across. Because I think that'd be hilarious. So
you should add like a point of view of the person who's being knocked around.
Yeah, it'd be kind of crazy.
I had a quick second question. Did you guys like choose for the models to be like this kind of low polygon?
Yes.
Or that's like kind of style?
Yeah, let me talk about that a bit. And then Big Mac, I saw you had a question. We'll get to you in a second. Yes, so the visual style of Rec Room, as you've noticed, is fairly low poly, fairly low fidelity, and there's really 3 reasons for that. So the first reason is, as you've noticed, we like to update a lot, we like to experiment a lot, we like to add a lot of new things really fast, and so this kind of art style means that we can move really, really fast. It doesn't take us months and months to make a new level or something. We can do it in a much quicker amount of time. So that's one reason, is so that we can go real fast. 2. And this is kind of more of a creative choice, is that, and we kind of feel like until you can get to like really good photorealism, like you're like really, really super convincing humans, there's actually something kind of more expressive about a simple abstract face. If I don't know, is anyone in the room familiar with a book called Understanding Comics by Scott Mccloud? Anyone read this book?
No, really.
I think I read like a little bit of it.
Okay, well, it's makes it. Well, if you haven't, and if you're curious about comics and stuff, I would really recommend it. It's a great book, and it talks a lot about the kind of the level of abstraction and the amount of expression. So I actually find that, it's kind of more like the behavior is more important to communicate the essence of a human, and fidelity is less important. But the third and most important reason is that we want to, like I said earlier, we want to take Rec Room to every platform that'll take us. And that includes, upcoming mobile headsets that might be battery powered, will be lower, have lower GPU and CPU capabilities. And so we want to make sure that we're able to run on the broadest array of platforms there is, so that we can have the most number of players that we can, so that we can have great gatherings and everyone can get to know each other and we can have a nice big global party. That's the goal. So that's why the avatar is simple. Global parties.
Okay.
All right, so I think we're going to do Big Mac next.
Okay, with the recent death of AltSpace VR, I was wondering about what the business model is, because the game itself is free and there's no in-game advertising, and you guys are obviously running servers and doing development and paying staff. How is this possible?
So first of all, we should all pour one out for AltSpace. They were pioneers in the social VR space. We have a huge respect for AltSpace and everything they did. Moment of silence for AltSpace.
What happened to AltSpace?
So AltSpace have announced that they're closing down, and I'm not sure exactly what the status is. I hope maybe that they can figure out a way to keep going. So hopefully. I'm not 100% sure of the
closed
status.
a couple days ago.
Anyway, we just want to pay our respects to Old Space. They were pioneers in social VR, and did a lot of cool stuff. And actually, like, you know, some of our thinking about events has been influenced by a lot of experimentation they did. Anyway, but back to how is this possible? So we've raised some money. We've announced, you know, we've raised $5 million in funding, and so
Are we able
we're
to
kind
help
of
fund you?
So what this means is right now, you know, we're able to make the game free. Oh, you know, in the fullness of time, we're going to need to figure out how to make some money from Rec Room. You know, we've ever since we shipped into early access from day one, we've always said at some point, you know, we're going to need to make some money. But you know, we're probably, I don't know exactly how far away. I would say we're a long way away from really digging into that. And we are committed to making sure that the core Rec Room experience is always free, because, you know, we think of ourselves as a social app first and foremost. So we want everyone to be able to come and play together. And so you should imagine that we'll add some premium features at some point that we'll charge money for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Imagine how easy it could be just to put an image on the wall for an advertisement, a Coca-Cola poster in the rec center.
And we want to think about that stuff, you know, really carefully, because we want to make sure, you know, we like, obviously we're biased, but we think Rec Room has a very special kind of vibe to it. And so if we were to introduce advertising, we'd want to do it in a very careful, careful way.
Imagine all the impressions though.
Over here.
I was
just wondering how you felt about, there was this video I saw, like an Axon VR suit, I think it was.
Yeah.
Those things.
So yeah,
you get hit in a dodgeball and feel it.
Yeah, there's so.
Yeah, I want one of those.
So definitely think stuff like that is very cool, and we've actually met with a couple of companies that do kind of, you know, various kind of haptic suits and stuff like that. Our CEO Nick, we got him strapped into a haptic vest and had him experience that. So I think, like, for all of those kinds of things, like, you know, for special controllers, for eye tracking, you know, all kinds of different stuff, we kind of have the same thought process, which is, you know, we want Rec Room to be available to as wide an audience as possible. And so while those things are only available to a very, very, you know, VR itself is still a pretty small market, you know, as I've said, you know, everyone here in this room is an early adopter and an enthusiast, you know, so it's a pretty small market. And then the number of people who have access to like a haptic bodysuit or the Vive trackers or, you know, really sophisticated peripherals, you know, it's like a very, very small install base. So I think probably we'll let other people do a lot of the pioneering work there. And when the adoption, we're kind of really focused on, you know, getting the social piece figured out, like, and making sure it's a great gathering place. So we like that stuff, but I think we're unlikely to add rich support for it anytime soon, if that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, definitely cool. Yeah. We love all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know, have you guys seen the eye tracking video that's on YouTube? It was a test we did for Valve and stuff for GDC, and that was really fun to play with. But, you know, like that I think, you know, if we start seeing all the headsets have eye tracking, we'll for sure support that. All right, I'm not sure who had their hand up first, so let's go with someone we haven't heard from. Secret Sparrow. All right.
Don't forget.
Are you on push to talk and forgetting?
Remember to push to talk if you're off push to talk.
So, okay. Oh no! All right. No question for. Who said they were waiting? Who said they were waiting?
Oi.
Me.
Okay, go.
Three things. First of all, while you were saying about the premium features, please no microtransactions. Of all things, no microtransactions.
I just wanted to say that as well. I'd rather much more like pay for the game once and then play it than like have a VIP option or a member. So it seems like people are better than the other, and that's like unfair for the people that don't have a lot of money. So I'd like rather spend like 50 or maybe 20 euros or dollars or whatever to like play this game, because I think personally it should like cost something, because I want to support you guys obviously to
Thank you.
make this like an amazing game and have more models than what we have right now.
Right.
So like I'd rather have like one price instead of like.
Yeah, but if you have like a free option, then you can have a lot of more players. And this thing is based
you
on
can have
having
a
big
premium
player base.
account.
We will definitely have a free option for sure. We'll definitely have a free option for sure. And yeah, and like I said, so now's a great time. You know, we're still a long way away from going down the monetization path. So come and talk to us on Reddit. Come and talk to us on Discord. We expect to have many months of conversation about this. And when we do that, we're going to do it the same way we do everything, which is we do experiments. You know, we'll do small experiments. We don't, necessarily marry any of our ideas first. We kind of put them out, see how it works, see if people get value from it, and then we sort of develop it. So you can expect to see us start small on that front.
All right. So I had a second thing.
Oh, sorry, you had a second. Sorry, yes, you did say that.
And I also have a third one after that.
Pug, what are you doing?
You know.
What?
Calm down, Luke. You can do it. You can do it.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You know what I would really like to see? Like, for example, for the basketballs, or even for some of the small guns like pistols, like double-handed wielding. Like, for basketballs, you could go like this,
Oh, sure. Get
that would be cool.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
And also,
the way it is right now.
And when can we be expecting support for PlayStation VR? Because I've got a friend who's going to get PlayStation VR. I'm excited to be able to play them.
So here's what I can say about PlayStation VR. We have been looking at it. We have been working on it, and if we possibly can, we're going to bring Rec Room to PlayStation VR. It currently will run on a PlayStation. We've tested that. Ultimately, it's up to Sony. They have to approve everything that comes up on the PlayStation. So we can't absolutely say just by ourselves like it's definitely coming because it's got to be a partnership with Sony. But we definitely want to bring it to PlayStation VR, and as soon as we can confirm that, we'll definitely talk about it. But hopefully, and then I hope once we get all of our when and if we can get our PSVR friends in here, I hope you'll kind of all welcome them and show them the Rec Room culture and how to be excellent to each other.
Also, right before another hand is picked, I just want to say one last thing. I'm sorry. Can we have more of these sort of developer talks? Because I think it'll just make the community feel more connected with the development of the game and all that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, we can. It's this is really fun for us as well, and so I can encourage. Maybe Duffy will host one at some point. He can tell us all about programming. Yeah,
it's so exciting.
Yeah, so exciting. Emily, what you got?
All right, so if you remember back in September, we all tested out go-karts, me and Echo. What's the thoughts on that? Even though I couldn't really handle the motion sickness kind of thing. I know that's our main concern. But I was just wondering, I just want to get something from you, because that was fun, even though I couldn't handle it.
So all right, Emily's talking about a prototype that we made last September, I think it was. We did basically a Mario Kart style go-karts where you'd take your avatar, you'd sit in the cart, you drive. Super fun, but about 30% of people got really, really strong motion sickness from it. Just rip the headset off level motion sickness, super bad. And we haven't yet figured out how to solve that, so we kind of shelved it for the time being. If we can figure out how to kind of get it to be so people aren't puking, then we'd love to ship it. So I'd say in the future, something I've said before is we hope that ultimately there's millions upon millions of Rec Room users, and we're all around the world. And at that point, just like the haptic suits and things like that, it'll make sense for us to make activities that maybe only a subset of users can enjoy. But right now, everything we try and do, we try and make sure it has value to everybody as much as possible.
Okay, that makes sense, because a lot of people have been talking and asking about that.
I think there are GIFs and video. If you go search for it online, I think there are.
I have some.
There you go. I think, Emily, you made some video for us. Yeah. Perfect. All right, Moo the dog, what you got?
Have you guys thought about doing anything like a climbing room or anything like that?
My arms are getting so tired.
No, we haven't really thought about that. Although I like climbing. I think climbing is a really fun experience. It's a great locomotion style. So yeah, we're not averse to it.
I'll hold your arm.
Baseball would be fun too.
Hold my hand.
Okay, who else we got? Noble Archer, what you got?
So, I recommended this a while ago, and I kind of talked to a while about it.
Archer, let's go do this.
It's the idea, where you can, buy different clothing items that you get, or something. Every time you level up, you get currency, stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's an interesting idea. That's a B-Boz question.
30 minutes.
He's really he's really the one thinking through all of our kind of like items and systems and events and stuff like that. But yeah, for sure, talk to B-Boss about that one. We've definitely talked internally about, should we have like, in-game Rec Room credits or something.
I think Captain Dave is too tall and he can't.
I think so.
Rec Groupies. Yeah, Rec Groupies. That's kind of fun. All right.
I just put it over here.
Hang on, I'm trying to let's get a question from someone who hasn't had a question yet.
I've been holding my hands up for 5 minutes.
All right.
Jesus.
It's misogyny. That's what it is.
All right, you're right.
Stop
Evil Boomer, what you got?
So like talking about the future of VR, like where were all you think like 5 years from now, where would you think VR would be? Like,
good question.
How advanced will it be 5-10 years from now?
Okay, so I think
there's so much breathing everywhere.
Yeah, push to talk, people. Push to talk. Oh boy.
So yeah, everyone's just like.
Let me test something. Silence all players. Oh, can you still hear me? Can you hear each other? Oh, the power. Okay, hang on. All right, I'm turning you back on. Can you?
It sounded like everyone.
That's awesome.
It sounded like everyone was going through
so
teenage.
Evil Boomer, the question was, like, what do we think about VR in 5 years? What do we think about VR in 10 years? So, I mean, the honest answer has got to be not 100% sure, obviously. What I hope in 5 years is that we have a wide array of mobile VR options. So what I want is that you don't have to go to a specific room in your house. You don't have to like have anything plugged in with wires or anything. You don't need any external sensors like or cameras or anything. I want you to just be able to put on a headset and you're in Rec Room. That's what I want.
I feel like VR will be like an advancement for like, let's say like military, like military training or medical
they're already doing
research.
classes where they teach people more medical stuff because they're able to break down the body.
I think there's a lot of really good use cases like that. And then in 10 years, I think
for like $30, there's like the software that's actually like an autopsy of like a human body. Like you can like cut away parts. Yeah.
That sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
Got that.
That's called surgery
In the lab.
Cold, what do you got?
It was just about the characters again. I was kind of curious on whether or not, because I know that we have like long hair and dresses and stuff for chicks, but I was kind of wondering if you were gonna modify the bodies for whether or not you wanted to have your character be female, not like super giant boobs or anything, but like modify it so that there's like a little bit of something that like some boobs, basically. I don't know. I look like a dude. Most people think I'm a dude because I don't look like.
Yeah, we're not averse to that. So are you on the Discord, Cold?
I am not. I will have to get you guys on the Discord.
Yeah, so here's what I would suggest. Go on the Discord and talk to Alkmaar, who's one of our developers, and she's got a lot to do with avatar items, and basically convince Alkmaar, and you can make it happen in Rec Room.
Her question over here.
Give us boobs! Give us the boobs!
In all seriousness, there's a balance to strike, because like what we don't want to do is kind of over-sexualize things and invite harassment.
That's what I'm saying. Just a little bump. Just that's it. Just a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
Maybe a bra drawer in the room, and you can just choose the bra that you want,
Sade,
and that will change your size.
There you go.
I got the question. I remember.
I'm not sure how to pronounce your name here.
Change your hair color. Change your boob size.
Said.
You got a question?
Everyone's gonna put boobs on their characters if that happens.
I got a question.
Sure. All right, Dexter, what do you get?
So, I am Italian, and I want the classic Italian emote.
Okay. Sure.
I want it.
Yeah, so you actually raise a really interesting question. Is as we go more global, some gestures are culturally specific, and that's something that we don't know a lot about. I'm Australian by birth, but we're based in Seattle in America. So So our cultural understanding is informed by that. But yeah, so let me answer that this way. I think we just shipped the espresso menu where you can kind of do the various kinds of facial expressions, and I think probably what we'll do over time is add customization to that. So like letting you kind of like load up your own kind of expressions and stuff. And so I could imagine doing something like that, giving you a set of different gestures that you can pick from.
Maybe. What about gestures you can unlock in the boxes?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think that could be kind of fun. I was thinking we could do weekly challenges and you can unlock like super frustrated expressions.
Yeah, maybe you can just set four emotes.
What's up with that weekly challenge that we had to do with the frickin' pistol for Jumbotron?
You love it.
That was so ridiculous. Oh my
god! You like
challenges?
giant pistol?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh my god!
Yeah, in your watch, there's on the checklist. There's a weekly challenge, and you'll unlock skins for the various items.
It is horrible.
Oh, that's awesome.
Me and my
action is
moving.
Vanemi, over in the back.
That's insane.
Hey, I just had a general question. If you can tell us about your team a bit, like how many people you are, how did you get into development and stuff like that?
Yeah. Okay. Sure. So hang on. Sorry, I got myself confused. Let me rotate properly. So I think a lot of us have a background in video games. I come from a background in video games. I was Yeah, the question was like, how big is the team and how did we kind of get started? So a lot of the kind of founding members of Against Gravity met at Microsoft. A lot of us worked together on the HoloLens program. So I don't know if are people familiar with the HoloLens?
Yeah. That thing's so cool. I want one.
Yeah, very cool piece of technology.
It's not even out yet. It's like the developer version.
There's a developer edition. They're very focused on kind of business and enterprise use cases at the moment. But my team made one of the first games that was for the HoloLens. It's called Robo Raid, and it's a kind of a robots bashing through the walls kind of game. If you look it up on YouTube, it's real fun.
That's the one that they used for the conference.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. So that was our thing. So yeah, we kind of like, and then we kind of got like we wanted to work more on games, and honestly, like one of the earliest thoughts about Rec Room was like we were like, someone's going to make the Wii Sports a VR. Maybe we should make the Wii Sports a VR. and then as we thought about that, we were like, how could you make that cooler? And we were like, it'd be cool if it was like social Wii Sports, and you could play with people from all around the world. And then we sort of realized that the social part was the most fun part.
That's great.
All right. Let's just go a question over this side of the room because I've been biased over here.
My arm hurts over there.
All right.
Gribbly and you go kill Gribbly.
I have a two-part question. First off, any chance in the future of getting some sort of a private basketball arena where we could host games and like tournaments and stuff? And secondly,
there's always a chance.
Can you talk about the state of the boxing game? Did you run into any problems with it, or?
I think that's gone. That's gone.
It's too violent.
The boxing one is so basically the way boxing worked is we've done a prototype of it back in the day. It was one of the first things we wanted to try. We couldn't quite get it feeling right. It's something I'm personally really passionate about. I definitely want to do boxing at some point because like just I think the ability of like just having one-on-one
hitting your friends in the face
would be really awesome. But it's just something we keep coming up with higher priorities. Like we wanted to do something more social, like paintball, which can entertain more players at once. Quest, we wanted to do something co-op. And so it's not that we don't want to do it. It's just that we keep prioritizing other things first. But one day we will get there. But I would, to be honest, not for months. Not for months.
I'm sure they'll probably have every sport ever in this thing at some point.
Up the back here.
Oh wait.
So, as we approach the future of VR, there are many of us who want to help others, and you demonstrated this yourself. A common question that's always asked is, "What is your system?" I'd love for the above avatar to be able to display what their system is, so we can just jump right to the help instead of like, "Well, what system are you? Okay, then it's this way, then that way."
Okay. What do other people think of that idea?
Espresso menu.
I feel like make fun of like
on what?
Maybe like a badge.
I
think it'd be a little
question.
Like
All right, so yes. Okay, yeah, we'll think about that one. That's an interesting idea. I like anything that helps people help each other is very
maybe
cool.
like a little pin or something on there that they wear. Like
Oh,
a
that's
little
fun.
icon or a little wrist icon that goes
Yeah,
on
that
the
could be
shirt.
cool.
You can wear it with pride if you want to share. That's very cool. Okay, good ideas. I like those ideas. All right, Pug, you're bouncing around a lot.
Wow.
So I thought like maybe we should do like different game modes for the different fancy pants outfits.
How do you mean, like?
I see
what you're saying.
For the space, like a space mission, kind of low and echoey.
Oh, okay. That's a fun idea. All right, we'll take that one under advisement. That one's a maybe. Joey, what you got?
End this game kind of.
All right, quick before I don't get any turn anymore. Puzzle games. Also, water physics and custom character customization.
Joey, you just come on the Reddit and talk to us whatever you want.
But for now, puzzle games. All right.
Puzzle games. Okay. Okay. Okay, so definitely, like, we want to build out the lounge more and have more kind of like board games, more kind of like when you say puzzle game, what do you mean?
For example, you gotta help each other to the other side. For example, that kind of games.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Escape room stuff, maybe.
Like Portal 2?
Yeah, escape room idea is fun.
Escape room, that kind of stuff. It could be really fun, socializing.
Oh, I love those escape rooms places that you can go to.
For example, like prison, for example. So people are in a prison.
Get out of jail. That's pretty fun.
That kind of stuff.
A couple months ago, I literally just did a prison escape room, like in real life, not in VR.
Okay, Emily, what you got?
Okay, I have two things. So one is I saw people kind of had this idea of like maybe you can have like a hallway of dorm rooms with your friends and like you can kind of
I remember that discussion on Discord. We think that's a really cool idea, and we're trying to think through the best way to do something like that. But giving people like a persistent space and like kind of having like that triggered the idea of us. It'd be really fun if you could like knock on your friend's dorm room door and go visit them.
Let them like decorate your dorm room, like change the wall colors or something.
It's a private
Then the
space,
lobby
like,
will be empty.
where there's no people bothering you.
Denied.
Okay, and you had another one?
Another thing, yeah, come here real quick. So come closer. I'm recording another music video. Can you do something really cool that I can put in?
Oh, something really cool?
Yeah, just right now.
Right now.
Okay. I could do some fun dancing.
Take your glasses off and then an explosion or something behind you.
Cool. That's
the best I can do. You got to give me more warning than that if you want me to be cool. Oh my goodness.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, Cole, what you got?
Oh man, I just lost my train of thought.
Empty.
No worries,
crap. It
Evil
just
Up Gaming.
poops.
That's all right.
Mine's very simple. Selfie.
Oh, sure.
Mamma mia, facciamo una Veronica.
Oh, I came back.
What is it?
How do you even use that thing? I tried using it and I don't know how.
What, the camera?
The camera?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
this is my first day.
All right, yeah, just kind of hit the buttons on the back. Like there's like you can flip the camera front to back. There's a shutter button. You'll figure it out. Ask someone.
All right, this is my first day, so.
All right, camera's in your profile, by the way. Cold, what you got?
So I was kind of curious because I have the other game called Climb Me, and I was wondering if you guys could incorporate some kind of not climbing, but like a rock climbing wall with different levels.
Right, someone else mentioned that earlier. Someone else mentioned that earlier. Yeah, that could be a fun one. Yeah, I would say probably like boxing. I don't think we're going to get to that super soon.
I don't know about that.
We want to kind of build out the event stuff, but yeah, I like that idea. Big Mac, what you got?
Hang on, tell me, do you recommend climbing? Because I'm thinking of
the
getting
disc golf game is actually really good, but I think it would work better if it was like an actual mini golf game with a putt-putt type.
A lot of the people that have Rec Room.
You mean like putt-putt with discs or putt-putt with like this kind of...
Yeah, like a mini golf game.
With like actual,
there should be a setting.
We were initially gonna do that instead of disc golf, but we kind of got worried about like having people looking down all the time, like with the kind of big chunky headsets was a little bit of a concern. Probably be fine, but yeah, maybe second generation lighter headsets will make that a little bit better. But I do like that idea. Vanami.
Vanami, yeah, sorry.
Vanami, sorry.
just a nice idea if you're trying to work more on event stuff. I think something that would work really good is, for example, when you muted us, everything was very, very silent. So maybe a way for us to make sound that is not talking, like clapping your hands or like doing woo or something like
whistling.
That will make very good communication with a lot
That's
of
a good idea.
that is not talking.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. We thought about having you able to like spawn a tomato to throw at the presenter.
Please make that a thing.
Please do that, please.
All right, Evil Up Gaming, what you get?
I noticed actually something in disc golf while we're on that topic. I noticed that you can kind of like cheat if somebody has their frisbee down. You can actually like not even grab it, but just smack it and it'll go away. And that's kind of like cheating. Is that intended?
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So that goes to one of our sort of like big social experiments that we're sort of running is if you've read the Code of Conduct, is everyone familiar with the Code of Conduct?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So the last rule on the Code of Conduct is don't mess with other people's games. We don't want to implement a million rules, so don't make us. And so the way the experiment we're running is like, if we leave like things like disc golf, you can technically cheat and push your disc around. How much do people exploit that? Because you think if you go to the park in real life and you're playing with your friends and you're like playing, throwing a frisbee to each other, it's not really any fun to cheat. And like people just kind of socially police their own behavior. And so we're kind of like trying to see if that can emerge in social VR. If like, it's just like, yeah, you could cheat, but it's less fun and just be cool about it. And so we're just trying to see how long we can take that attitude. Does that make sense?
The only time that I
There
would
is
do
a
that
problem with that. The mountains.
in VR.
Once I throw it on the mountain, it's gone. So basically the game is over.
So let's talk about that. Okay, so this is our fault. There is actually a solution to that in disc golf. You press the scoreboard button, and there's a hazard button, so you can manually hazard your disc and bring it back.
Jeez, dude.
Sorry. So it's our fault. We do a terrible job communicating this.
Playing with me.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Now I know.
No worries. All right, Captain Dave. Sorry about your legs.
Legs.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm. What do you mean by handicap sauce? I'm not sure I follow that.
Like safe zones.
I see what you're saying. Right. So the ability. I understand. All right. So yeah. So like just going out of bounds briefly is a good way to like work around that. Yeah, that makes sense. And like so like as I said, our goal here is that it's a fun and welcoming environment for everybody. And so yeah, if you can find a way to play a game that works for you and it's not messing up anyone else's game, then totally cool. Minnie Mouse.
Definitely.
Oh, sorry. Did someone else have? Was that you, Duffy, talking?
Yeah, I was going to say, that if he's got any other suggestions or anything like that, definitely hit us up on Discord because we're always open to make it better.
Discord, Reddit, Steam forums, and our Twitter @AgainstGrav. We're constantly looking at those. Minnie Mouse, did you have a question?
I have a request that they should do.
Okay.
They should start making things where you can, after that they have a bottom line where you can type personality if you want to, because people have been by like some of their voices, or they would keep thinking that they're little, like, and they'll just start kicking them out even though they're over at least over 13.
All right. Well, we will tell them.
That's actually
Evil Boomer. What you got?
Okay, so going back to like you're talking about Wii Sports.
Yes.
Have you ever played Wii Sports Resort?
No, I haven't played that personally. I've seen the trailers and stuff.
Okay. So in Wii Sports Resort, they have a sword fighting game where you can like play against like AI. I want a sword fighting game.
I'm addicted.
I want one where you can like. I want one where you can like 1v1 a real person with like foam swords and stuff.
All right, cool.
Like either like you can like.
I'll take a look. I don't much encouragement to play Nintendo games because they tend to be amazing. So, all right, thanks for the recommendation. We'll take a look.
Fun one.
I want lightsabers.
All right, Thrash.
Okay, well, this is
Hi,
more
Fresh.
Hi. The scope for Rec Room, like, specifically. So, how big is the scope for this game? I had a dream actually, like a few days ago, I think, where I was in Rec Room. But there was like we were all in like a big city, and there was like cafes and stuff, and so it's like spaces.
Right. Yeah. So good question. Like, so we're gonna see how big this can get. You know, we hope we can keep building. We hope we can keep building. That's definitely the goal. I had a dream. I had a Rec Room dream the other day too about like, and it was like I could feel the objects and pick them up, and like kind of like feel all the textures of things.
For the vibe.
Yeah, I know, right? One day.
They've got that Manus VR gloves.
So, and like, just time check. We got about 10 minutes left, and then I got to run.
Oh, okay. Just a quick one. Echo Arena is like a really good game, and the concept of zero G in the game, I think it's actually really fascinating. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, we've thought about it. Like, definitely seen the positive response for Echo Arena. It's a very cool game. Yeah, definitely wouldn't rule anything like that out. That's why our company is called Against Gravity. Thank you, Emily.
We need mech warriors.
How about a simple extra outside area, like external building area?
People ask for that a lot.
Like a camping area.
Kind of like a balcony or something, or
people ask for that a lot. So I think I know Bilal especially wants an outdoor area for the lounge. So yeah, I think we'll get there for sure. Yes. Oh, hang on. I'm accidentally swiped. Who hasn't asked a question? Princess Fuzzy.
Okay. So you had the crossover event quite a while back.
Oh yeah, with raw data. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so annoyed that I missed out on it because all my friends have cool gear that I can't get now. Do you like that with other games and stuff?
Yeah, we'd like to, man. We get so busy, and we sort of like it takes time to like organize stuff like that. But we'd love to hear suggestions for like what other VR games, because we really like the cross-supporting crossover with Gorn. All right, so I know probably some of you here are developers and maybe know people making VR games. Put them in touch with us if they want to like do crossovers and stuff. That's
Wizards of Space.
All right, so so Gorn. All right, we'll see if we can talk to the Gorn folks, and we'll see what they say.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah,
McKinley.
Gorn.
Oh, were you just excited about Gorn?
Oh, I love that game. I love that game.
Game is so fun. Gorn.
All right, Gorn Gaming. What you got?
I'm gonna make this quick. So first, have you heard of Manus VR gloves?
Like axes and
yes, I've heard of it. I've not tried them.
Yeah. So what he was saying, think about that. And second, I just had this like sitting in my mind from earlier about the whole cheating thing. I feel like as the VR community grows bigger, there's probably going to be more cheating because there'll be less of this sort of small community sense. Because I lived in a really small community in Niagara, and everybody like has a lot of good decency and morals because everyone knows each other, and you'd be ashamed if you did something like bad or against the common morals. But here, right now, it's the same because small community. But as the community gets bigger, it'll be like,
I hear you, but let's hope that's not an inevitability. Let's see how big we can grow while retaining a really positive community. I kill pigeons.
What are your thoughts about adding custom options to Quest to change up the weapons? Say have bow and arrow in Jumbotron or laser guns in Golden Trophy, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's for sure a possibility. You've seen us experiment with paintball with the kind of private custom games, and that's a direction we're definitely going to go further down. And there'll be something coming reasonably soon that kind of expands that out a fair bit. So I think we definitely want to get there.
Oh, no,
all right, cool. What else? I got 5 minutes. What else can we talk about? All right, let me ask a couple of questions of the group. Oh, okay, Cole, before I do that.
Have you checked out VR Chat at all?
Yes, have checked out VR Chat. VR Chat's cool. I like that. Okay. That's the one where you like you teleport and you see your character walking, right?
It's the one where that one's fidelity, high fidelity. The other one is
has it too.
VR chat
is the same.
Well, VR chats has the ability to bring in, like, upload your own characters.
Yeah.
Let's say you want a
yeah,
character, a movie
It's
character,
kind of a mess because of that. There's
video
no
game
unified
character.
there.
Yeah, I think we're probably unlikely to do that for characters. We've talked about. We're actually honestly not sure, like, whether we would like import objects
I was more so
and
curious
spaces.
about the rooms that they have, because they have like multiple different rooms. I was just curious whether or not you'd open it up so that people who are developing their own rooms for VR or you know specifically.
We're not sure yet, honestly. Like that's part of like why discussions like this are really valuable to us. Is like, you know, we want to gauge how much interest there is in that. And I think, you know, something that we'll definitely do, I'm not sure when, but I think something we'll definitely experiment with is allowing you to customize the spaces that we have. You know, so like, you know, change colors, move the furniture around, save it, and kind of customize it. I think like probably what we'll do first is more like interior design than like building from scratch, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All right. This is an interesting display. Okay, let me ask a question. Something that we've talked about internally a fair bit is, you know, is maybe making some adjustments to the way the torso behaves to kind of like add a little bit more fluidity and realism to it. But probably as a result of that, it would mean that like this kind of like having it stick out like super wide and like when you nod, it kind of goes like you know. Yeah, neck dodging would probably suffer, and like
this looks
I don't know,
great.
like what would be the reaction? Like would anyone miss too badly, like the kind of wildly flippy torsos if we made them a little?
I would kind of miss it because it's like physically, it's funny to see how people like you know
like your sequel, you know.
So I would miss it.
It makes sense.
That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking.
Between the two options, because it'd be nice to be able to look up without lying down. But then again, people like it as well. So maybe just a switch in the watch menu. Old body physics, new body physics.
Thank you, Carson. Yes, for demonstrating.
Locomotion walking, is that possible? Like as in,
so maybe. So we're not opposed to locomotion options. I mean, we don't really have a good idea right now for how to do it without getting motion sickness for a bunch of people.
LOD.
So say again.
With Arizona Sunshine. With Arizona Sunshine, you have like a LOD setting, and the higher you put it, the less motion sickness you get, basically.
Right.
That seems to work very well. So maybe you could like look into that.
Yeah. I would say I think we'll experiment with it at some point. Not super high on our priority list. You know, I think again, you know, we're really interested in getting the gatherings and events and social stuff really worked out. But yeah, definitely not a hard no on locomotion. Like we're willing to experiment.
My wall.
All right. So I think
is it like a rift problem.
I think it's time. Yeah.
What do you got? What do you?
I don't know.
Doing?
I found the people there.
Get off the stage.
I have no idea what's going on here.
They want to be different.
Off the stage.
Come back, Fuzzy.
Sorry,
is the tomato option still there?
Oh yeah, we need. Have I tested the what? Oh yeah, I have. Where's Duffy? You see, I promoted Duffy to be a host. Yeah. Actually, let me test. That's a great idea. Let me test it. Emily, I'm going to use you to test. All right. I'm going to make you a host.
I didn't hear it. Test what?
Here we go, Emily.
Then you'll be allowed on the stage.
All right, so Emily, you should be able to teleport on the stage now. Can you?
She doesn't have a crown.
Oh, hang on. Wait a second.
She doesn't have a crown.
All right. How about now?
Still no crown.
Oh, interesting. See, I don't think it's working.
Are you seeing the crown come up on it?
Try someone else. Maybe it's just like
let me try someone else. Let me try.
Me.
I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it by seeing who appears next in the list. So it's Carson Todd 50.
Yeah.
All right. Where's Carson Todd?
That's him over there. Just in front of
all right.
me.
This is good. We found a bug. So I'm not able. Can you promote anyone, Duffy?
No. Must be only before it starts.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, that's great.
You take it back.
You helped us find a bug. All right, everyone. I think I'm going to wrap it up, but let me say thank you for coming to this event. This was like a really fun discussion.
Thank you for
Love the questions. Thank you for playing Rec Room. We love you all.
Thank you, Gribbly and Duffy.
And please stay in touch with us. We'll do more of these because it's fun and interesting for us. And it seems like you guys had a good time. I'm sorry?
What's the Discord?
Discord's available through the Reddit.
Yeah, go to the subreddit.
Yeah, so right now,
so I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, best. Yeah, find us on the Reddit. It's our Rec Room. There's links on the sidebar to the Discord. Come and talk to us. And yeah, we'll do this again soon.
Okay,
all
cool.
right, everyone.
Hey, Gribbly.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
All right,
an event.
Thank you.
Here's rapidly
Never mind.
Wait. Thanks
Well,
for
never mind, whatever.
Yeah, thanks for coming,
All right,
guys.
see ya.
Wait, Duffy. I have to say, okay, the thumbs up emote is broken.
Yep. It's broken?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
No
only
one else
shows
can see
client
it.
side. No one else can see your thumbs up.
Oh,
Can you see my
Thanks.
thumbs up?
Just
Can you see my
allowing
thumbs
it
up?
to go.
All right, I'll
Can you
make
see
sure
the
it gets
thumbs
fixed.
up
Thanks,
or not?
guys.
Nope.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
that actually
fine,
works.
then.
Or it doesn't work, I mean.
All right, see you.
I totally knew.